kids thrown to the ground, kicked, punched and stomped on. This is Fight Club. More than 130 videos discovered on a social media account with thousands of followers. 30 brutal fights uploaded in the last week involving kids from at least 10 schools in Melbourne's southeastern suburbs.
Not only have you got the victim that's been physically assaulted, you've got the ongoing humiliation of the views and the comments of that assault. And it can be life-changing for some young people.
With increasing numbers of kids risking their lives for internet infamy.
Parents in Queensland are being warned of an underground fight club.
An underground fight club culture breaking out across the state.
Disturbing footage has emerged of a teenage fight club on the streets of northern New South Wales.
The fact that people continue to share them is terrifying because people want to see it. It's really quite scary actually because you don't know if it's going to be you who's next.
There definitely needs to be some sort of change involved to stop it.
The Fight Club phenomenon seeing teens organise bare-fisted street brawls and ambush random strangers in horrifying attacks.
I can't walk down the street because people are laughing.
Go, 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 go. Oi.
This video last month sent shockwaves across the country.
Turn that way, that way.
A 13-year-old Queensland girl allegedly held against her will, punched, stabbed and taunted for hours.
Look at her face.
I've never seen something so in my life.
Go, 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 go. Oi.
Her alleged abusers, aged 12 to 14, documenting the attack online.
She was at her house and we just pumped her and we were just like torturing her for these 4 hours straight. And it was funny as
The post quickly went viral.
I think we are quite desensitised to violence and to brawls and to physically hurting each other. That's a massive concern to me because it's the message that it sends out is that it's okay not only to be involved, but it's also okay to watch and be a bystander and do nothing about it.
So with kids fighting for followers, how can parents and teachers break it up?
It is easier said than done. We don't want to oversimplify it and just pay attention to the symptom. It's got to be about the reasons behind that as well. So offering counselling where possible as well.
Joining us now to discuss this is Simon Duo, who used to be a principal, now advises school leaders and teachers. Simon, are school kids becoming more violent?
Look, unfortunately, we are seeing young people in general show more acts of violence, and those acts of violence are varying. Yes, some of them are playing out at school, but it's certainly not just in the school grounds. Although it's not every student, every school, every day, what it might feel like is that there has been that increase because we are seeing it through our social feeds. So it is pretty concerning to be able to think about, one, the act of violence, and two, the number of times it's being seen by other people.
And so is it your view that the social media bit of that is what's making the trend take off?
Yeah, social media has certainly got a significant role to play in this because what we're having here is our young people exposed to this content at a much earlier age. They're seeing it in a way that then becomes a little normal for them, and that leads to the challenges of them sometimes playing out these same behaviours in their schoolyard or with their group of friends. So we do have some concerns around how social media is being used.
How are teachers responding to this trend of staging fights and posting them online?
Yeah, look, I really feel for teachers. They'd be pretty stressed out about this. They'd be worried, they'd be concerned if it was happening in their school because they want to ensure that every young person who walks through their doors is cared for in a safe and an orderly environment. And when we really unpack it, this is not the school's fault, but unfortunately it's our teachers who are having to deal with this. So what we've got are our teachers needing more support. We need to look at how we can best place them in the school setting to be able to support their young people to grow and make good choices is what we want.
Simon, you highlighted the teachers there and their role in trying to solve this. Who should we be looking at to do that? Is it parents, the teachers, like you said, or maybe even the social media platforms?
Yeah, social media platforms have got a big role to play in this. They can certainly do more, I feel. But in addition to that, I don't think we can just sit back and hope or wait for social media platforms to take this and to make things better. So as a community, there's lots we can do.
Simon, these videos are so hard to watch. Just how serious is the fallout from these videos? What are the long-term consequences that these kids might not know about?
Yeah, you're right. They are hard to watch. It's quite disturbing behaviour to see, especially when we're talking about the age of some of these young people involved. The impacts, the long-term impacts are going to be significant, and the impacts are going to be there for the individual. So we have a situation where in 5, 10 years when they're going for employment, that digital footprint will follow them. And I'm sure that that will be something that our young people haven't thought about or haven't been able to think through. But more than just the individual, I think there's a bigger impact, and that's on society as a whole. So how are we creating a society where our young people care a little more, where they understand that they've got responsibilities to those people around them, where they're just making good choices and being a good community contributor? That's what we want. That's the sort of society that we want to create.
Simon, thanks very much for your time tonight.
No worries, thank you.
It's so sickening. It's so sickening to
It's
watch.
very hard to watch those videos, I've got to say. And I sort of look at that, and when you think about kids' misbehaviour, we so often talk about it being a cry for attention. And social media is an attention economy. That is what it's about, drawing attention to yourself. So there's almost a sense that the violence is escalating to meet the needs of a bigger audience.
The thing I think about watching that, I mean, I had a pretty tough experience at boarding school and quite a few violent situations. And the thing that I reflect on watching that is how filled you are with humiliation and a sense of shame when you are subjected to something like that. And I can't imagine what it would be like having a bunch of people filming it and then posting it and sharing it. I think the impact must be so much greater and so much heightened as a result of that. But I think it's important to talk about. I wonder about the merits actually of showing that stuff on television as well, given that we know that the impact it's having on kids sharing it and people sort of doing the copycat thing. Maybe this is something that actually, we really all need to be thinking about responsibly, particularly as we sort of repeat this stuff on television.
Well, hopefully this is a chance for families to have conversations with their kids at home, because you're right, it amplifies the bullying, and this stuff is on the internet forever. This will ruin future lives. They're in their school uniforms. One wrong punch, we've seen how coward punches can kill or leave people, terribly injured and not able to kind of cope. But this, it's a good chance to tell the kids, just don't do this. It's so silly, so dumb.